This is Cheyenne Valentine back today again with a new episode. Today's episode, I want to say he owes $70,000 in arrears for child support. Again, he owes $70,000 in arrears for child support. Now, you might say, who am I talking about? What the hell's going on? Well, it's a guy that I know that has confessed to owing $70,000 in child support. Back payment. Arrears means back payment. You all know that, but yeah, anyway, you all know what arrears mean. But yeah, it's back payment. And I'm bringing this up because I have done some videos. I've been on YouTube for about 3 years now. And it probably don't seem like it, but I did some videos some time ago about child support. You might want to check those out. I don't remember what I said in those videos, so my viewpoint might be different now. I'm just warning you. But I want to talk about this because, now, let me first say that I know the average man is not $70,000 in, I know the average man doesn't owe $70,000 in arrears and child support. Okay, I know that. I know the average man does not have 12 kids because this individual here has 12 kids. And he's not with any other women, and these are by different women. I think only one of them, out of all those kids, I think only 2 of them are by the same woman. Maybe, yeah, I think it's only one woman who has 2 kids by him. The rest, let me think. The rest has 1 kid by him. So this man literally goes onto the online and goes to women's homes and pick up women. Well, he goes to their homes. He would drive an hour away just to get some vagina, or he'll bring them to his house. So I'm not gonna get into his, how he's making them. But this, hearing that he owes as much in back child support, I want to first say that I am thankful for child support. Now some people are going to say, how dare you say that? See, you all think that I'm thankful for child support because it seems like most of the time child support affects the man. Usually the man is paying child support. Well, I'm here to tell you some women have to pay child support. One thing you don't know about me is I used to work for the state, and I used to work in the child support department. Oh, yeah. Okay, I used to work in child support department, and I, like you, had preconceived notions about things. And when I first started, I just assumed I didn't even assume that many women were on child support. And one of the women actually said to me, she said, no, there's women on child support too. And I said, huh? I mean, I knew it was some, but she made it seem like it was more than what I thought. And I did not actually deal with the people that were on child support. Basically, this is a while ago. For what I can remember, I'm not going to talk about my part in it or what my position was, but one of the women that worked with me, she dealt with the titles, or it was title registration, where they could take, okay, let's say you owe child support and you get a new car and you have to get the registration. I think they could take your title. Because I think when you get the registration, I haven't had a new car in a while. So I think when you get a new car and you go down and you get your plates, you have to show the title or something. I remember they would take the title of the car because this person owed child support, and then they will have to call her or however, and they will have to pay their balance, and then they will get their title back for their car. That's kind of how it went. I didn't deal with that. I don't know much about that part because that's not the part of the child support situation that I dealt with at the job. So it was 2 women that dealt with the title part of it. So from my understanding, because I would help them file the titles sometimes. We would do that maybe on Mondays or something. So anyway, so let me just get that straight. It is some women on child support too, but I definitely think it's way more men. So you might say, why am I making this video? Why am I thankful for child support? I'm gonna tell you why. Because on my previous child support videos, let me first say that I think some child support rules are wrong. For example, I think one rule is if you sign the birth certificate and I'm not quite sure because I don't have kids yet, so bear with me. I think one of the rules is if a person has been paying child support for 10 years and if they find out the child is not theirs, they have to still pay up until that child is 18. And I've also heard that I think if the child goes to college, they have to pay up until the kid is 21, even though they have found out it's not their kid. And this is all because they have been paying it either for 10 years or if they sign a birth certificate. Now, you all know that's not fair. You all know that's not fair. What I think should happen is, I don't care how long they've been paying child support or if they sign a birth certificate, once they do that DNA test and find out that's not their child, they should be absolved of any more financial obligation. As a matter of fact, they should make the mother and or the biological father pay that person back. Hold on, I'm saying this wrong. If it's a man that's been, let me take this back. If it's a man that has been paying child support, he signed a birth certificate, or if he's been paying for 10 years and he's suspicious, he gets a DNA test, he should not have to pay any more child support, and the mother and or the biological father, if they can find him or whatever, should either split the bill and pay back that guy, or either just one of them should have to pay him back or whatever. They could just say maybe the woman does because she tricked them, but at the same time, he's still the man. The man's supposed to take care of his child. So wait a minute, I think she should pay it back because the biological father didn't know that he had a child in that situation. So I don't think he should have to pay back that guy. You know what I mean? For something he didn't know. He did not know he even had a kid. Okay. So I think the woman should be forced to pay him back that, because she should have at least, that's just how I feel about it. I don't know how you all feel about it, but so I think some of the child support rules are wrong, and vice versa. If the woman has been, because some women are on child support too, have been paying child support for a, hold on, no, it wouldn't work with a woman. Yeah, I'm out of it. No, okay, because the woman, she knows it's her baby, so yeah. Wait a minute, no. Yeah, okay, let me say this again. So if a woman has a baby and she gives the baby to a guy and says, okay, I don't want full custody, and she's paying him child support, if he does a DNA test and he finds out that that's not his kid, that's a whole different situation. Okay, because so this child support thing in that situation doesn't apply to her, because he's been taking care of a kid that's not his, so once he finds it's not his, he can give the baby back to her. But of course, most people are attached to the kid by that time. So let's scratch the woman scenario. The scenario I'm talking about is when it's the guy, if he thought it was his baby and it's not. He's been paying for the baby and stuff like that. So the reason why there are some things that need to be fixed in the child support system. At one point, I also felt like a woman or a man should not be able to get child support unless they were married first. That's how I felt. I don't know what my viewpoints is on that now, but however, now that I have found out some people's mentality, I'm glad they have child support. And child support was always a good idea to me, because in any situation, you're going to have a parent, male or female, that's going to want to walk away and not take care of their kid. But at the same time, there's people in the world who have every intentions of taking care of their kid and is giving the other parent money, but the other parent just wants to put them on child support. So for the people who say, well, it's not fair, these messed up rules, no, you're right, they're not fair. However, you have to understand why they put child support into place. And so how I look at it at the grand scheme of things is that let's deal more with the woman and the guy as far as her putting him on child support. That's what I really want to hit. So you got men like this out here who is good child support exists because he will go around impregnating all these women, and that's taking responsibility. So let me explain to you about him. The reason why he's $70,000 in arrears and child support is because he's a deadbeat dad. He makes babies, he don't take care of them. Now I know what some of you are gonna say, well, why did the women get pregnant about? Let me explain something to you about him. He has 12 kids, but no, he just confessed to that. Nobody knew. He only has one living with him, and the only reason that one is living with him is because that particular son's mother, she kind of, I don't know, she didn't really take care of him. She kind of was neglecting him a little bit, so he let his son live with him. Okay, this man he doesn't stay in a big apartment, let's just say that. So if he wanted all 12 kids there, he probably couldn't have them there anyway. But that goes to the point of, why are you having all these kids if you can't afford them? So when a woman meets him, right, she thinks he has one child because he don't tell the women that he has other kids, because we just all found this out, and the people that found out was close to him. So you think he's gonna tell a random woman that he's screwing that he has 11 other kids, have 12 kids, and you might say, well, hold on, he got to 12 kids because at one point he only had one kid, at one point he only had 2, 3, 4, and 5. I understand that, but I'm trying to explain to you all that as he was accumulating kids, he did not let the fourth baby mother know, or let the fourth woman know that I got 3 kids. He didn't say that to her. He just screwed her. And then I was told too that whenever he impregnates a woman, soon after he doesn't want her anymore. So I think this is a future. The singer Future. I think he's kind of like him, where some men I've noticed. I don't know what this is if it's psychological, but they will impregnate a woman, purposely do it for whatever reason, and then soon after they don't want her anymore. Some of them don't even want to have sex with her anymore after a baby came out of her private area. And I think some of them really is a I don't know. But some of them will do whatever it takes to get her pregnant, and the moment she gets pregnant, they're out of there. So they don't want to. Some of them don't even want to sleep with him anymore. So I don't think that's some weirdness going on. He might be like that. This man has slept with a lot of women. No, he's not the average guy. The average guy is not $70,000 in arrears and child support. Okay, I know that. But there are several men out here who are on child support and have several kids. Now, I'm not talking about the men who were put on it because the woman was being just spiteful and he was giving her money and all that. We're not talking about that. To me, child support is necessary because of this one big thing. Women, when they get pregnant, that is hers, right? And if the guy decides to walk away, she's gonna be left to raise that kid by herself. Okay, so they're essentially, if they weren't married first, or there's not any legal obligation and or nothing, and even if they're married, a guy can just walk away. Okay, so I can't even say that, but back in the day, there was rules in place where, you shouldn't have sex before marriage and all that. And even, and also in the past, marriage was put on a higher pedestal than it is now. It was more of a family structure. Things are starting to deteriorate now as far as the family structure. So this is an issue because you're going to see the percentage of single mothers go up. And I don't want to talk about single mothers in this comment section because people they seem to hate single mothers and all that, but they don't hate the men who are so-called the men who are going around making babies and walking away. Okay, so I don't want to talk about that in this video. But because the woman carries the child, if a guy decides to be irresponsible and just say, that's not my baby, I don't care, and walk away, she's left with everything on her plate. No money, no help, no nothing. And that's not fair that her and another person came together, the male and the female came together, both willingly had unprotected sex with each other. No, okay. And did what they did, and he gets to walk away, but she physically can't, because she's carrying it. Now, once she has it, she can just put on somebody's doorstep and all that. But most women, they make us, nature makes us attached to the child that we're carrying purposely so that we won't abort it, and that we want, and even though some women are having abortions, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying naturally when a woman's carrying a child, she feels an attachment, and that's purposely nature did that so that we want, throw ourselves down the stairs or constantly try to get rid of it, or once we have it, always, throwing it away, because it's we're attached to, I don't mean to call the baby it, but we're attached to the child, and nature made it that way. Just like nature made women, not all women, but they made a significant amount of women really want children and really want to be around kids and nurture kids, and that was done purposely, so that because we're the one that carries it, right? So I feel what happened once the marriage, things with marriage start deteriorating, and people just having a lot of more random sex and free sex, as you say, the women started to get left raising the kids by themselves, and the men just could walk away with no responsibility because it's easy for him to do that because he's not the one carrying it. Okay, so I feel child support had to come into place, and I do think child support was geared more towards making the men contribute. Now let's get into something. I had a argument with someone in my comment section about, this is why this person argued with me. I did a video saying everyone is to take accountability for their own actions. in a what was it called? Everyone, if you do not want a child, if a person does not want a child, they are to take, everyone is to take responsibility for their individual actions. Basically, I was saying, if you, whether you're a woman or a man, do not want a child, you in a sex act is to take responsibility for your actions. So I'm gonna repeat this again. If you are a woman and you do not want to get pregnant, you are to request him to use a condom, and you are to get on birth control. If you don't get on birth control, you definitely need to request him to get a condom. If he refuses to put on a condom, you are to leave, pull up your clothes, make him leave your house if he's over your house, or you pull up your pants and you leave. If you are a male, if you are a man, hear me good. If you do not want to impregnate this woman, if you do not want a child, you are to put on a condom. You should ask her, is she on birth control? And whether she says yes or no, you need to still have a condom on, because even if she says she's not on birth control, two things: she could be lying. No, even if she says she's on birth control, that could be a lie. So you still should put on a condom. Also, too, you're supposed to try to protect yourself from a sexually transmitted disease. You don't know what she has, so you need to still put on a condom. Okay, I don't care if she says she is on it. Okay, so men, both women and men need to have condoms on them at all times. You are to put on a condom. If she requests for you to take the condom off, and you say, I don't want to have unprotected sex with you because I'm not trying to get you pregnant. If she says, well, I don't want to sleep with you if you're going to have on a condom, you are to pull up your pants and leave. No excuses. Everyone is to take a responsibility for their own actions. So I made that video, and it wasn't a woman. Everyone was a woman. It was a man that got upset with me, and he said, who has more responsibility if he said, who has more, how can I say this? He said, who suffers the most consequence if they are reckless with sex, the woman or the man? And see, I knew where he was going with this. So basically, we were going back and forth. And basically, he was saying that if a woman and a man gets together and they have reckless, unprotected sex, she gets pregnant, he walks away. He's saying that she's going to be the one that's left, to hold the bag. So he's saying, so she should be more cautious than him. Now, I get what he's saying, but see, this is the goddamn problem with some men I'm running into. It's like some of them would do anything to avoid taking responsibility for their penis. Okay, I just sat up here and said both are responsible for themselves. I don't want to hear about the other person. I ain't talking to you. Turn and look in the damn mirror. Now let me address this. I get what he's saying. So then I said, well, that's why child support had to come into place, because men can. Let's be honest. A man can impregnate all these women and walk away. If you don't have a social security number or nothing, you can't find this dude, and you as the woman will be left with all the responsibility. So yes, the consequence for women is high. However, I told him child support had to come into place to force these men to be responsible, because obviously they were taking advantage of the fact that they do not carry a child and the woman does. I'll repeat this again. They were taking advantage of the fact that the woman carries the child and they don't. So to me, it was a free reign to do whatever. They had, they could just walk away, and that's not acceptable. When you just created a child with this woman, you don't get to walk away. Both of you all did what you did to create it. Both of you all are to take responsibility for it. So he said basically, he said it's more than raising a child than a paycheck. So are you saying that his money is equivalent to all the stuff that she has to endure raising a kid by herself? And I said to him, no, but something's better than nothing. So so basically, what do you propose? Once again, absolve him of any responsibility and just put it all on a woman and say you shouldn't have unprotected sex with him and you should make him use a condom, when he should make himself put on a condom if he don't want to get you pregnant. Okay. And so once again, put it all on a woman. Okay. And say, because you might suffer more of a consequence, it's all on you. I am sick of some of these men just going around using their penis to impregnate women, to have all this unprotected sex, and then constantly blaming a woman for their actions. The woman is to be held accountable for her actions in the sex act, and the man is supposed to be held accountable for his actions. So let me get back to it. He's basically saying that the child support check is not equivalent to all the stuff she does. Obviously it's not. So he's saying because she still has more of a consequence, she should protect herself even more. I get what he's saying, but he's trying to change the narrative and make it seem like even if she does, let's say she does suffer a little bit more of a consequence, suffer more, let's say, for having reckless sex with a dude than a dude has. In my opinion, Even if she does a little bit, it doesn't matter, because they're gonna, y'all, these men, oh my God, it's like talking in circles. I get what he was saying, but he's basically saying because she suffers, he said yes or no, does she suffer more consequence? That's up to opinion, because if she, okay, so it takes a lot to raise a kid. If she has a mother and aunties to help her watch the kid, she's working, then she's getting help. Okay. And no, money is not equivalent to being there 24/7 with the kid and all that, but she can only get what she needs to be able to get. How can I say this? That helps her. Okay. The money is helping her. Okay. But to me, okay, the money's better than nothing. And when I talk about child support, let me explain something too, what he's not getting. Having the man being put on child support so he can help contribute financially, he said, okay, that's not enough. Or, are you trying to say the money is equivalent to the responsibility that she has? No, it's not 100% equivalent. But who's stopping him from going to see his child, though? He's assuming that if you put a man on child support, that all she wants from him is money. What these men are not understanding is the woman wants him to be around and get his kid every other weekend or every weekend, or get the kid 3 days a week and take him to doctor's appointments and pick him up from school and take care of him financially. That's what the woman wants. The guy's choosing not to do it. Okay? And so the court system cannot make the man spend time with his child, but the court system can make him give the child money. And why are these men not addressing the fact that you have to make somebody take care of their goddamn child? You have to make someone love their child. You got to make someone spend time with their child. They don't want to address the nature and behavior of some of these men. They just want to keep saying, well, if a woman and a man has reckless sex, that she is going to deal with more of a consequence because she's going to be one left with the baby. And like I said to him, because of men knowing this, some men, knowing this, they walked away. They took advantage. And so child support came in to make him give her money to help financially towards his child. At the same time, no, the paycheck is not equivalent to all the stuff she does. So and so in the grand scheme, it does seem like she's paying, quote unquote, a bigger consequence. However, the child support is still not, the child support is not stopping him though from doing more. He's choosing not to do more. Okay, so can we address why are these men making babies they do not want and not want to take care of them and not want to spend time with them? We keep talking about the woman has a bigger consequence, so she should make sure she does this, make sure she does that. So once again, you absolving a man of everything. Once again, I'm not going to tolerate that. I don't care how you try to flip the narrative and go back and forth. I'm not going to tolerate that, because that's what you want. You want to say I have less responsibility. I have less of a consequence. No, excuse me. You want to say I have less of a consequence for the same action as her, because she's going to be left alone to raise a kid and she got to be there with him all the time and she got to find a babysitter. And so even if I give her money for child support, even if I give her money, even if I pay child support, that's still not equivalent to all the stuff she does. So it would be in her favor to not get impregnated by a guy like me. I get what you're saying. I 100% get what you're saying. But guess what, sir? If you keep being out here impregnating women, you're going to still get what's coming to you. Like this dude right here. You're going to be $70,000 in arrears in child support, and your life is going to be trash. Okay, so keep going around putting everything on women. Keep not protecting yourself. Keep coming in all these women, and you're going to get what's coming to you. Because the women, they going to deal with their own consequences, and you are too. So just be prepared. So you're gonna be in debt. You ain't gonna have nothing. I'm not even gonna get into all the stuff this dude is going through, but this dude's life is in the shitter. Oh, I didn't mean to curse. This dude's life is in a garbage can. Okay, so if you want to be like him and you keep doing it, keep blaming the women for everything, keep blaming the woman for what you decide to do in the bedroom, because you're supposed to be going to the bedroom worried about yourself, not about her. You're supposed to be worried about protecting yourself. Okay, you don't want a kid. Same with the woman, you don't want a kid. But for the men, keep worrying about, oh, she might have a bigger consequence, or she should have made me put on a condom. Nobody should have to make you do something when you are trying to protect yourself from a certain result. So if you don't want a child, you are supposed to have a condom with you and put it on so you don't get somebody pregnant. What are you talking about? So I don't respect these type of men, because this guy right here, see, he's the type of man this dude who's $70,000 in arrears and child support. See, he's the kind of man that will argue with me and say, well, what about the woman? And she should maybe put on a condom, and she has more of a consequence for the same actions as me. No, sir. No, sir. Because even though she might have to get a babysitter and need help and all that, she's still getting a child support check from you. So that's helping her, and she probably got help from her family in addition. But you, though, since you don't take no accountability, you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. See, people who don't take accountability, that's why you have to acknowledge what you're doing is wrong, so then you can change it and you won't do it again. See, men like this, I'm talking about a particular type of guy, they are not going to change. They don't feel they did nothing wrong. They feel it's the woman's fault. So they're going to keep having babies by random women, and they're going to keep being put on child support. Mind you, everybody, tell me why I say tell me why. All the women do not even have him on child support. Yes, everyone. He's $70,000 in arrears in child support, but not even all the women have him on a goddamn child support. If every woman was to have him on child support, he would be about $200,000 in arrears in child support. Okay, so this dude's life is just over, and he can only person he can blame is himself.